Is the new MacBook Air also going to come in the rainbow of colors? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to my channel. So today what I wanted to do is address one of those questions that I think may come true and I'm not exactly happy about it. So is the new Apple Air that comes out either end of this year or 2022, is it going to be following the same color scheme, those pastel colors, as the 24-inch iMac? And I'm here to say I think it is. Now, before I get into the video, there's a good video that just came out by Max Tech. He's a great, subscribe to that channel. It's a great channel for Apple. I had my video, I was working on it. His came out and he beat me to the punch. But long story short, we have kind of the same ideas. What I think is, I definitely think that there's going to be, the new MacBook Air is going to have the same color scheme as the 24-inch iMacs. And I'm going to tell you in this video why. I'm going to go through maybe 4 or 5 different reasons why, and I'm going to give you some sample pictures of why I think it's the case. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you some samples of what I think it's going to actually turn into the MacBook Air. And there's a lot of, once you listen to the video, stay tuned to the very end so you can see kind of the designs I come up with, just to show you some sample designs on what I think it's actually going to look like. And then also stay tuned just because you're going to learn why I think it's the case and why I'm almost positive it's going to come out this way. I think, unfortunately, they're going to go after the lower market with that device, just like they are with the 24-inch, more of the consumer market. And a lot of things are happening now with Apple going back to the retro roots and stuff like that. So we're going to see what happens. But I do think if you want to pick up an Air that's going to be this, silver color or, a space gray or whatever, you may need to do it this year with the M1 chip. Next year it might come out in that rainbow of colors with the, M2 chip. And maybe it'll be more expensive, maybe it won't. But if you don't like the colors, stay tuned. And let me tell you what I think is going to happen here. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy this kind of content. Subscribe if you can, help me out. Let's go. All right, so one of the first reasons I think that the new MacBook Air, the next one, might come out with colors is let's go back and look at Apple's history. So the original iMac G3 came out in 1998 with white bezels and colors. And it appears that Apple might be going retro. So if you look right after that, they came out with their G3 iBook, and that had the same colors, was matching the iMacs. So you put 2 and 2 together, they kind of matched each other that year. Now here comes the 24-inch iMac, and it's 2021. The kind of MacBook Air is the low-end type MacBook. So what's coming next? Well, we're going to have to wait and see, but I think that's one good reason right there. All right, a lot of people are going to say that was a long time ago. And new MacBook Airs have black bezels. You just need black bezels on a laptop. They can never be white just to match the iMacs. Well, let's go back not that far. Let's go back and look at the prior generation of the MacBook Air, just like this one here. If you look at it, it's silver, almost a white bezel, and nobody complained about it. People looked at it every single day without even, people did complain when it got really thick, obviously in old age, but people when it first came out, they didn't say much about it, and they liked it, at least to a certain extent. And Apple did it before, so it doesn't have to be black, so I don't think that they're going to make this next one black either. All right, so my theory is the new 24-inch iMac is for home users. The colors are kind of fun. It's not really meant for professionals. It's going to be good for schoolwork, FaceTime, videos, and more, and stuff like that. So overall, it's going to be a good choice for the home. And that's it. Not all, but it's just what they're going to be targeting. When we look at the iMacs that are more professional, like the 27-inch or the iMac Pros, they're going to be the silver color, I still think. They're going to be made for professionals. They're going to look more professional. They might have a black bezel for color grading and stuff like that. If you look at the iMac Pros and stuff, they actually had the darkest of all colors, so maybe they come out with the black color next. So overall, that's what I think is going to happen with this kind of lineup. And then if we look at the, obviously the MacBook Pros as well, we look at them right here, same thing. I think the MacBook Pros are going to stay the silver, space gray, and maybe dark black even, just more professional colors to get the work done. So I don't think that's going to change. But the MacBook Air, actually, I think that's what's going to change. And we're going to kind of talk about that in a second here. And I'll show you some examples of what I actually think it's going to look like in a few seconds here. Surely the new MacBook Airs can have white keyboards, can they? All MacBooks have black keyboards. That's what everyone tells me. Well, let's think about it for a second. Everyone thinks that you need a black keyboard so you don't get fingerprints on them, they don't get dirty, stuff like that. All MacBook Pros, all MacBook Airs, everything have always had a black keyboard. Well, let's think about this. All the new iMacs going back, a number of years have always had white keys on their keyboards with the silver kind of background there. You can see it right here. And the new iMacs have this green background with the white keys. So white keys are possible. They don't get dirty as much as people think. You can wash them off. They might put them on a laptop. That's all I'm saying. So if you think that the black key is the only thing that you can have on a laptop, think again, because Apple's going to do something crazy. If we go off the theory that the new MacBook Air coming out is going to be a consumer level computer, it's going to kind of match the new iMacs that come out, the color schemes, everything like that. I went ahead and I created some examples to show everyone here. So without further ado, let's look what I think these are going to look like. Here's the yellow one. Here's the bezels. It's not the best. I mean, it took me a couple seconds to put it together, but I wanted to show people this would be the yellow color laptop. What do you think with the actual white bezels? I don't think it looks as bad as I would think, but I don't know if I like it yet. I have to take a look at it a little bit longer. But this would be the yellow, matching the yellow 24-inch iMac. And then from the top, here it is with the white keys and the yellow color as well. You can see it. So I put this together as an example. Obviously, I'm not getting this from anywhere. So what do you think on the yellow color? I actually kind of like it, although I don't know if I'd buy it. And then we want to go ahead and take a look at, here's the green color iMac 24-inch. So what do you think about this? What would the MacBook Air look like? Here's the green color again, white bezel in front. You can't really tell a lot by this angle, but over top you can see it here with the white keys and the green color. It's not too bad, I guess. I mean, I guess it's going to be these lighter colors. So what do you think? Tell me in the comments what you think about these designs. And then at the end of the day, Apple's done a lot of crazy things in their time. They have the new 24-inch iMacs with all these colors. I think they're going to do it to the MacBook Air for sure, so stay tuned.
All right, what do you think? I definitely just want to wrap it up. So obviously Apple's going back to the retro roots. They want to kind of distinguish between the professional stuff that's going to probably be kept space gray, silver, and black, and the consumer brand type electronics that they sell, which might be this new color scheme that they're coming out with. And the 24-inch iMac is a perfect example of what they've done with the white bezels. Now they might move that to the MacBook Air because that's kind of the consumer level MacBook. It's not the MacBook Pro. So I think that that's what's going to happen to this. Also, obviously just with the way that the history has been where they've actually done this in the past, also some of the older MacBook Airs had silver bezels and nobody said a thing about that. That was totally fine. So what do you think in the comments? Do you think this makes sense? I mean, let me know what you think overall. I get, there's a video that came out recently that was very similar to this, but I was working on mine, I promise you that. He beat me, but what can you do? Sometimes that happens. But I think we kind of share the same, vision as far as what's happening with Apple. I don't think they're going to leave it alone. I think they're going to keep pushing the boundary of the designs here, making sure that people, understand that it's a Mac, not just any other computer out there. As the other brands kind of caught up on design and actually surpassed them, they're going to try to kind of lay one out there as far as it's really out there, really different. And at the end of the day, if you like it or you don't, I think it's coming. So if you want to get that MacBook Air in space gray, I guess, you may need to buy one this year. They're a great value. I got one recently for an unbelievably low cost, which will be in another video. At the end of the day, though, let me know what you think, comments, and subscribe if you can to my channel. It definitely helps me out, helps me grow the channel. I'll talk to everyone soon. I appreciate the support. Peace.